As a designer, how excited are you with the new e-Pace?
I'm very excited because it's a whole new branch of engineering technology. It's electric, doesn't have any conventional motors in it anymore, and from a design point of view, it gives us a lot more freedom. So, anything above the wheel centers is really free for us to design the way we want it to. Of course, we have legislation, we have crash requirements to attend to, but we don't need a long bonnet anymore because there's no big engine in there. And the rest of the space can be given to the occupants. We get a bigger interior for the same size. So it's a revelation, to be honest with you, and it's something I'm looking forward to the next generation of electric cars.
You partly already answered. What does electricity and electric cars bring to your game, to designers' game?
Altogether, as long as you do it as a skateboard and you do it in the way we've done this, it gives you a lot more freedom. There are challenges, however. We've decided this should be an SUV, so we have the height. But because it takes up space in the lower half of the car, it means the car naturally is going to be higher than, say, a normal sedan or indeed a sports car. And, at Jaguar, we're renowned for sports cars. So when we get to the more conventional cars of the world, such as sedans and sports cars, it's going to be much more challenging because we need to take the batteries away from underneath you and put them somewhere else. And we're currently working on that for the future. So it will have some challenges, yes.
I heard that it can go up to half a meter into water.
Yes, as a motor car, as an SUV, it needs to have capability, it needs to have off-road capability. And part of that is be able to wade through streams and things. That's normal, people do every day, don't they? And it can go into half a metre of water quite safely. We have tested it.
How fed up are you as a designer that everybody wants to see an SUV in every segment?
I don't really mind.
Even if they're never going to use it on the off-road or...
No, I think people like SUVs for different reasons. Designers like SUVs because it's an excuse to put bigger wheels in the car. It makes them look a little bit more fun. But people like driving SUVs because they like the command position. They like sitting higher up. And I can understand that. I have an e-Pace at home, I drive that. And I think in urban areas, especially if they're not too big, it gives that people a sense of safety as well. So it's definitely the way that the sales numbers are showing for the future. But sedans are still very popular. Especially in the eastern part of the world, sedans are still the majority of cars.
How do you keep it, even if it's an SUV segment, how do you keep it sporty? How do you keep the lines sporty?
Well, you have to look at the lines. I think the lines are all about a drama and a sense of speed in the lines. When you've got a profile, it may be taller, but in a Jaguar, the profile of SUVs have got a lot of rake to them. The roofs fall off, they've got a lot of speed to them. So it really is a case of how we develop the overall proportions relative to other SUVs. And we also take specific cues from our sports car with the e-Pace, for instance. We've actually got similar lines on that we got in the F-Type. So I'm quite comfortable with a sporty feel with them as well.
When you design a car, when do you know that this is too much? Because I believe it's a small line, when you overdo it.
Experience has taught me that if you overdo it, you have to take lines off. And this is what good design is about. It's about the discipline. And especially for somebody who perhaps has got a little bit more experience to say to the younger team, take the line off, you don't need it, it has enough. And it's about discipline, it's about knowing what you're trying to achieve. You want to create a certain sense of speed. If you put too many lines on a car, you lose the effect of the other ones. They have to have a place in space. And that's what experience has shown me. So I discipline my team to take as much off as to put on.
There was a period in time where all car manufacturers wanted to go either in the futuristic looking cars or in the sporty looking cars. You, thank God, went to the sporting looking cars. But did you ever think about going all futuristic especially with the electric cars?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I've gone as futuristic with this as I possibly can. It has a radiator.
It's still looking sporty.
It's a sporty car, and I've already got ideas of how we can do the next one. Of course, that's how we finished designing this probably 18 months ago. It still has a radiator grille because there's a radiator there. It has to be cooled, but it's also very sporty because that's Jaguar's heritage. We have to do sporty cars. That's what we stand for. It's about drivability, and I think you have to message that when you actually design the shape of the car. But in terms of, to do something different is easier than to do something beautiful. And what we try to do is to do something beautiful. That's more important than different.
And the last one, your engineering team is comparing the acceleration speed to Tesla Model X. What about your design team? Has ever been a comparison? It looks better.
When we design a Jaguar, we just think about what Jaguar needs to be. We don't look at what other people are doing. Of course, we are aware of what they are, but we're not influenced by them in any way whatsoever. We do what is right for our brand. That's it.
How do you define sporty and elegant?
Well, elegant is something that's easy to look at, something that's beautiful to look at, something you can enjoy looking at because it has a simplicity about it. It's not overdone, it's not vulgar, it's got a certain sense of line about it which is simply beautiful. Sporty is about overall shape, it's about stance, it's about muscularity, it's about visual performance. So a balance of that and elegance is what we look for in a Jaguar. And you know, it needs to be elegant because it's a beautiful car, but it also needs to be sporty because it's about performance. It's a fine balance.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.